Do you feel safe as a woman in India? The pause says it all.
स्पिरिचुअलिटी वॉज नेवर अबाउट क्लोथ्स. जितने भी सेंट्स हैं कई सारे तो नंगे ही रहते हैं. सेकेंडली हमारे प्राचीन मूर्तियों में
Rape largely is a tool of oppression. It is a tool of dominance. It is a tool of control and revenge.
आदमी अगर अपने आप को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते हैं with a woman, how is it that they are allowed to control countries?
If religion is the only thing stopping you from being a bad person, then you are a bad person.
लड़के समझते ही नहीं है फेमिनिज्म क्या है, इसीलिए वो उसके अगेंस्ट रहते हैं. एंड सो आई ट्राई to put it in words.
So guys, what do you think should be the punishment for rape in India?
Chemical castration.
In that video, I have asked multiple men, rape क्यों होता है? And the answer without any doubt in men comes,
I'm very interested in what is the solution? Hi guys, welcome to Kindness with Amy. Today we are talking about a topic that is very, very close to my heart, which is the place of women in India today. And not just that, but India in a wider context in terms of young people who are in this country, who are in their 30s, who are in their 40s. What can we look forward to in the next 10 and 20 years in India? Today we're going to be diving into these juicy topics with some incredible guests. I am joined by Vagmita Singh, who is an amazing content creator, writer, podcast co-host, and you are known for your funny takes and witty view of feminism, mental health, and the realities of being a woman in India. Also joined by Sonali Singh, who is coming all the way from Delhi today. You are an incredible content creator who is creating mind-opening content that exposes the mindset of people and points out the hypocrisy of everyday people with the actions that we take, from a civic sense perspective to women's rights, to hard-hitting questions that you ask about feminism, which I think we've all seen, and I think you are doing amazing work. I'm also joined by Adi Suyash, who is a writer and scholar who has come all the way today. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to your perspectives on spirituality and women today. So thank you, everybody, for joining me.
Thanks for having us. I'm quite excited. I'm always excited to talk about women and feminism.
Well, there's so much to talk about, but I guess you guys would be the best to answer this right now. Do you feel safe as a woman in India? The pause says it all.
I mean, I don't know a single woman who has not gone through an incident which has made her uncomfortable, or you want to put in a category of harassment, she would have. So, I mean, that says a lot about it. And I mean, yeah, safety, I feel, comes from a lot of angles, and I feel it's not a very serious concern as far as society is concerned, as far as the system is concerned, as far as the police is concerned. We do talk about women a lot. We, put them on a pedestal of Devi and whatnot. But it's not the concern, that's for sure. Otherwise, the figures, the data would not have been like this that, we see today.
But then a lot of people, like I recently put a reel on my Instagram about the fact that there should be very harsh penalties for rapists. And a lot of triggered men commented on there saying that, oh, but what about the women who do false claims on rapes? That's the only reason the numbers are so high, is the women who are lying and the cheating women, blah, blah, blah. They went on some tangent.
It's because they are the rapists. That is why they're commenting. No, but to be serious, I feel like the easiest way of these kind of people to divert from the conversation, it's a very gaslighting tactic. Like, for instance, you're in a relationship and you fight with your partner and you say that I have a problem about this, this and this.
Yeah.
And that's when your partner, who's been okay all along, is like, oh, but I also have a problem with this, this and this. It is to belittle you. It is to divert the conversation, and it's to gaslight you. So it's a gaslighting tactic which diverts the conversation from women who are genuinely talking about their needs and their wants and the fact that the government and society at large is failing them, and it turns the conversation into a few women who are doing something
Correct.
that is questionable. And I feel that what it does is that it just defeats the perspective of women speaking up. Like, this is why women don't speak up, because they're constantly gaslighted about it.
And
So
it has happened so many times when I'm going and asking the question to the boys, and there are this group of boys. I will, in fact, put it on my page as well. So, whenever I'm asking, do you feel women are oppressed? Do you feel there is a lot going against women? And the first answer that comes out is, what about that case? But लड़कों को भी तो इतना परेशान किया जा रहा है. The Sia case happened, or any, if that's in the highlight of the news, they will not address the concern that I'm trying to bring, or that is the concern. It's not that कि एक केस हो गया या लड़कों के लिए कुछ गलत हो गया, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है ना कि लड़कियां अभी चंगी हैं, सब बढ़िया है, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना.
and why do you only think about men's problems when women are talking about their problems? Why are you not protesting about it separately? Like, why do you have to?
This is like that, when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, right?
Yeah.
And then they do something terrible, right? You react to the terrible thing. And then they make it about your reaction. And then
Yes.
suddenly the terrible thing is ignored now, and now we're just focusing on the reaction. That is what it is.
Yes. And about the rape cases that I want to say is, like in India, that's the data, NCRB data, that says that around 30 to 31,000 cases are registered every year. That makes 80 to 90 cases per day. And you will be shocked to know 96% of the cases where relatives or anybody known to the victim are involved. That says a lot about the society. 96% cases.
And also, we're talking about the cases that are registered.
Yeah, we are talking about the registered cases.
There are so many cases that are not even registered, either because of political pressure or societal pressure or family pressure or stigma or police fear, because police does not make it easy for a woman.
This data shows because the relatives are involved, they are not reporting. Because घर की बात है, घर में रहने दो, सुलझा लेंगे. So you have to see what culture, what are we even, yapping about for so many years. Your data says your relatives, your own people are the one who is, spoiling us, who is against us. But again, the conversation always comes around, तुमने क्या पहना है, तुम्हारी क्या गलती है, what time you were out, I have asked this question so many times and it boils my blood every time. Rape क्यों होता है? And I have put in around, 7-8 videos around this. And in that video, I have asked multiple men, okay, the same question. Rape क्यों होता है? And the answer without any doubt in men comes, क्योंकि वो रात को बाहर घूमते हैं, क्योंकि वो कपड़े इज तो ऑब्सेशन ऑफ द सोसाइटी, ऑब्सेशन की कपड़े ऐसे पहने, इसके लिए ऐसे होता है.
मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि अगर ठीक है, आदमी अगर अपने आप को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते हैं with a woman, how is it that they are allowed to control countries? If they can't even control themselves in that way, then why are they allowed to control anything, is my question. So, Adi, I have a question for you. Would you call yourself a feminist?
Yes, in that sense, but I would use the term egalitarian much more. क्योंकि मैं सोसाइटी को एक बीइंग की तरह देखता हूँ एंड मैं उसको डिवाइड नहीं करता. लोग अनसेफ हैं, लोग प्रॉब्लम में हैं, लोग ऑप्रेस्ड हैं, जानवर भी हैं, सब कोई हैं. वी हैव टू डील विद देम. और सबके प्रॉब्लम्स को इक्वली ट्रीट करना होगा. डेफिनेटली सबके प्रॉब्लम्स अलग अलग हैं और किसी को भी बिलिटल नहीं करना है, किसी को भी ये नहीं बोलना है कि मेरे प्रॉब्लम का क्या है. दैट डजंट मेक सेंस टू मी. बिना डिवाइड किए बस वेलफेयर पे ध्यान देना चाहता हूँ.
Why do you think that इंडिया में इतने रेप्स होते हैं?
इंडिया में नहीं, ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड इन फैक्ट.
But let's talk about India.
हाँ, बट लेट्स टॉक अबाउट इट. बिकॉज एक तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है, आई विल एक्सप्लेन फ्रॉम अ स्पिरिचुअल एंगल एज वेल, कि जो जोड़ दिया गया है ना ये कॉनोटेशन कि किसी का सेक्सुअलिटी उसका ऑनर है, तो एक तरह एक चीज़ बन गया है कि अगर आप किसी के साथ फोर्सफुली सेक्सुअल एक्टिविटी करते हो तो उसका इज्जत लेना है, इज्जत लूटना है. और ये कई सालों से जो जंग हो रहे हैं, जैसे जंगीज़ खान या कोई भी, वो इसको एक प्राइड की तरह देखते थे कि जितने ज़्यादा लोगों के साथ अगर आप अपने शत्रु के पत्नी या बेटी के साथ कर रहे हो रेप, तो इट्स समथिंग टू बी प्राउड अबाउट। आपका बॉडी काउंट कितना, इट्स समथिंग टू बी प्राउड अबाउट। क्योंकि एक इवोल्यूशनरी मेंटालिटी है कि आप अपने जीन्स को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों के ऊपर फैलाओ, और फिर इसको इज्जत के साथ जोड़ दिया गया। तो मुझे लगता है कि वन ऑफ द मेन रीज़न इज़ कि सेक्सुअलिटी को या किसी फैमिली की स्त्रियों को उसकी इज्जत की तरह देखना, आई डोंट थिंक कि ये किसी भी तरह से सेंस बनाता है।
I would take a different stance and I disagree a little bit about this because it, of course, I understand that it's associated with pride and it's associated with taking somebody else's pride, but rape largely is a tool of oppression. It is a tool of dominance, it is a tool of control
Revenge.
and revenge. It is very rarely seen. Like, if you literally, I have a friend who's a Harvard scientist who talks only about this rape as a tool of asserting power. And they've interviewed so many rapists and so many criminals. And the one thing that rapists say is that when you ask them that why did you do it, they say, गुस्सा आ गया था. It's not because I had an urge. It's not because, oh, I wanted to satisfy an urge. Then you could have gone to a sex worker as well. You forced it on somebody because you wanted to assert dominance and you wanted to gain control on another person.
बट आई डोंट थिंक कि हम दोनों इसमें कोई अलग प्लेन पे हैं। मैं भी एग्जैक्टली यही मानता हूँ। दूसरा एंगल है कि व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट असर्टिंग डोमिनेंस, तो वहाँ पे डिसरिस्पेक्ट का ही फैक्टर आ रहा है सबसे ज़्यादा। जब हम किसी को डोमिनेट कर रहे हैं तो हम उसके इंडिविजुअलिटी को सप्रेस करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हम उसके इज़्ज़त को ख़त्म करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और दूसरी बात है, फ्रॉम एन स्पिरिचुअल एंगल, हम ऐसा कहते हैं शास्त्रों में कि जो क्रोध है और काम है वो एक ही ऊर्जा है जो दो अलग अलग एंगल से निकल रही है। जैसे एक पाइप में एक सांप है, वो इधर से निकल सकता है, इधर से निकल सकता है, तो वो सेम एनर्जी है। वो या तो सेक्सुअलिटी के थ्रू निकलेगी या एंगर के थ्रू। और जनरली आप देखना कि एंगर, क्रोध में, और जब आप कामुक होते हो तो रिएक्शन सेम होता है फिजिकल लेवल पे। हार्ट बीट फास्ट हो रही है, फेस फ्लश हो रहा है रेड, मल्टीपल थिंग्स। तो जब क्रोध आता है और वो इस एंगल से नहीं निकल पा रहा तो वो इस एंगल से निकलता है।
Why do you think it's on the rise so rapidly though? Because अगर हम देखें the data from like last 20 years, 10 years, 5 years to now, it's on the rise. So I'm curious, what are the shifts in public thinking? What are the shifts that are causing it to increase? Are we de-evolving? Are we becoming just dumber? Are we just becoming like Neanderthals? What is it? Because how is it getting worse? Because technically, with AI, with social media and access to information, we're meant to be more conscientious, we're meant to be smarter, we're meant to be whatever, more connected. So how is society getting worse? And again, I'm just talking in the context of India because obviously we can talk about Epstein and all these like fucked billionaires, but we're not getting in that zone right now because that's in another plane altogether. Why do you guys think it's getting worse?
I personally feel like it's always been this bad, but it was just behind closed doors.
With social media, you mean we
With
have
social
more?
media, with women becoming empowered, becoming knowledgeable about the fact that yes, you can report it.
Yeah.
If one person is not taking you seriously, go to another person. Go take psychiatric help. Take the help of an NGO.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of women who are actually coming out and speaking up about this, which they weren't before. A lot of women are getting out of their houses. They are seeing how other women are living. They're seeing the lives, they're becoming aspirational, which is another reason why men want to assert more dominance because they've not seen women who are so aspirational. It is a tool of control ultimately. So I feel like it's sort of both those things.
And now people are understanding it's not the victim who needs to get hidden, or it's not the victim जिसको छुपने की ज़रूरत है, it's the accused जिसके बारे में आपको बोलना चाहिए, बाहर आना चाहिए, because it has been taught कि यार ये ऐसी चीज़ है, कर दोगे तो शादी नहीं होगा, ये नहीं होगा, वो नहीं होगा ना, society image and all. So I mean, you know, people are realizing कि ये गलत practice है जो होता है. Also, I mean, the whole education thing that is going on in the society, that also plays a very big role. Literacy and education are two very different topics. And if I talk about a decade, 10-year data, again, 94,000 schools have been shut down, government schools. That accounts for 2 crore people. So लास्ट 10 साल में आप सोचो कि 2 करोड़ बच्चे स्कूल नहीं गए हैं. वो 10 साल में दैट मीन्स मैक्सिमम एज 10 साल है, एवरेज एज जो भी होगा, ठीक है. अभी आप ये सोचो कि ये बच्चे स्कूल नहीं गए हैं तो वो क्या कर रहे हैं, वो क्या सीख रहे हैं, वो अभी क्राइम ही करेंगे ना, कुछ गलत ही आएगा दिमाग में. मेजॉरिटी तो यही कर रहा है ना. सो वी हैव टू सी. इवन आई मीन इफ यू सम पीपल से यू नो कि अगर लिटरे मतलब एजुकेशन होता तो ऐसा होता वैसा होता, इट्स नॉट दैट. अदरवाइज एप्स्टीन वुड नॉट हैव एग्जिस्टेड. Because having values and having, again, literacy and education, having values, having education are two very different things.
I really agree with you. I think that it does come down to that because, yeah, Epstein is a very good example to show that highly educated, powerful people, but this comes into what you were talking about it being a power play. Because whether someone from a low socioeconomic or a high socioeconomic background is dominating someone, it is coming from a place of you are lower than me and I can dominate you for XYZ reason, right? So that is then coming into a lack of value system, a lack of critical thinking. And these two things is where I think there is a loss.
And a lack of morality, because I read this quote about, you know, if religion is the only thing stopping you from being a bad person, then you are a bad person. You don't
Wow.
need religion or a god to tell you to not do this and then you shouldn't do this. You should
Yeah,
just know.
that should just come from you.
Exactly. So it's morality as well. And I think you would have something to say about this, that like, you know, how does, like, religion of course plays a role in keeping people in check, but I feel like it should come from within, that you don't want to be a bad person.
I think religion comes from within and the goal of religion is कि आप अपने दिमाग पे कंट्रोल पाओ. ठीक है, मेरे लिए religion का यही अर्थ होता है कि आप अपने दिमाग पे कंट्रोल पाएं.
But is that not spirituality instead of religion?
Religion is practice spirituality.
Okay.
हाँ.
But every religion talks about different angles. So how does it, you know?
When religions become a tool for political domination, तब वो बिगड़ जाता है, तब वो corrupt हो जाता है. But religion was practice spirituality. First I will come to your question. जैसा आपने कहा कि रेप्स राइज पे हैं, मुझे नहीं लगता, मैं इनसे एग्री करता हूँ. ये हमेशा से था और अभी कम ही हुआ है इनफैक्ट. पहले आप जहाँ अगर पढ़ो हिस्ट्री, आक्रमणकारी जब हम अटैक करते थे, तो आज इट इज़ डेटा कि जंगीज़ खान ने जब अटैक किया था तो 1 of 200 मैन या कोई उन्हीं का जेनेटिक्स से आ रहा है. तो इतने लोगों का रेप हुआ था. जब इंडिया से 200-300 साल पहले मेडिवल पीरियड में बहुत बुरा हाल था रेप्स का. ऑफ कोर्स ना तो रूल्स थे ना लॉज थे. जो राजा अटैक कर रहे थे उनकी सेना ही कर रही थी. तो आम जनता कहाँ जाते? आम जनता किसके पास जाते कंप्लेन करने के लिए? कोई सोशल मीडिया नहीं था, कुछ नहीं था. सो इट वॉज ऑलवेज देयर. एनिमल इंस्टिंक्ट हमारे अंदर हमेशा से था. नाउ कमिंग टू रिलीजन, ये जो सारे के सारे धर्म है ना, सारे के धर्म के बारे में मैं नहीं बोल सकता, लेकिन एटलीस्ट इंडिया के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में जितने भी धर्म आए हैं वो हमें अपने माइंड को कंट्रोल करना सिखा रहे हैं. गीता यही कहता है, जो बुद्ध हैं वो यही कहते हैं. और माइंड का सबसे ज़्यादा पावरफुल टेंडेंसीज दो ही हैं, फियर ऑफ डेथ और रिप्रोडक्शन. क्योंकि दोनों अगेन एक ही चीज़ है. रिप्रोडक्शन इज सिम्बलाइज्ड इमॉर्टैलिटी, कि आप इमॉर्टल होना चाहते हैं और इमॉर्टल होने के लिए आप अपने जीन्स को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं. तो इस पे कंट्रोल पाना वॉज द गोल. बट फिर रिलीजन क्योंकि लोगों को यूनाइट कर रहा था, लोगों को दे रहा था मौका एक दूसरे को अपने प्रॉब्लम्स बताने और उनके साथ प्रैक्टिस करने. तो जहाँ पे लोग आते हैं वहाँ पे फिर पॉलिटिक्स भी आ जाती है. जब लोग एकत्र होना शुरू करें तो आप समझ लेना पॉलिटिकल कोई नेता बन ही जाएगा और उसको वो यूज़ करेगा अपने प्रॉफिट के लिए. तो यहाँ से रिलीजन करप्ट हो गया. बट आई थिंक इट्स वाज स्पिरिचुअलिटी प्रैक्टिस्ड.
But I have a question on that because what Sonali was saying कि obviously काफ़ी अलग-अलग religions हैं, right? You have Islam, you have Christianity, you have Hinduism, you know. तो are you saying that in all of these religions, ultimately the tenet has been spirituality as the baseline.
यस, हाँ मैं इससे एग्री करता हूँ. You would say.
I mean, yeah, also I feel parenting is a very big role in this. हमारे घरों में नहीं सिखाया जाता है वैल्यू सिस्टम के बारे में. वो एक अगेन वैल्यू सिस्टम इज ऑल्सो जेंडर बेस्ड. वो लड़कियों को ज़्यादा सिखाया जाता है और लड़कों को नहीं सिखाया जाता है कि कैसे तुमको ट्रीट करना है लड़कियों को, तुम्हें कैसे बाहर जाना है, कैसे उठना है, बैठना है, देखना है. दिस इज़ अ वेरी जेंडर बेस्ड टॉक इन इंडियन सोसाइटी. वो लड़कियों को ही बताया जाता है. और अगर आप इसमें स्पिरिचुअलिटी, स्कूल, एजुकेशन सब कुछ हटा दो, अगर आप सिर्फ पेरेंट्स का रोल देख लोगे ना, उसी से सोसाइटी बदल जाती. नो मैटर हाउ प्राउड इंडियन सोसाइटी पेरेंट्स आर, इफ उसका रिफ्लेक्शन आपकी सोसाइटी पे दिखता है. और वो बहुत बड़ा रीज़न है, एग्जाम्पल है कि हम आज इन चीज़ों के बारे में, आज भी 2026 में इन चीज़ों के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. बिकॉज ऐसा है ही नहीं, कोई पेरेंटिंग का पार्ट ही नहीं है, स्कूल के कैरिकुलम का ये पार्ट ही नहीं है. तभी हम आज बैठ के इस बारे में बात कर रहे हैं ना. सो या आई मीन इनफैक्ट द न्यूअर जनरेशन दैट इज़ कमिंग, बहुत कम स्कूल्स में इस बारे में बात हो रही है, या बहुत कम पेरेंटिंग का पार्ट है ये.
And I find that very interesting because empathy and learning, critical values that we should have as adults, this should be taught in schools, And I feel very blessed because I went to a Montessori school growing up. I don't know if that's a thing here.
It is. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Right. So I feel very blessed that I had that opportunity because in Montessori schools, we were taught these things, critical thinking, values. Instead of being academic-y at an early age, we were doing gardening or like doing stuff, like just home stuff, But boys and girls, like everyone. And so, I feel very grateful for that. But that is something I wish that all kids have an opportunity to be exposed to. I was reading that a 9-month-old girl was raped by a 14-year-old boy in Gorakhpur. And I find this thought really interesting because very often, even on my Instagram, I get a lot of comments of people saying to me that people like me is the reason that boys rape girls.
People like you.
People like me, suggesting that if I'm, at a beach wearing bikini or something, when a picture dal diya, whatever, I'm creating lust in men and feeding into that problem of lust in men, which is why they're raping. लेकिन फिर मेरा ये question है कि फिर वो 9-month-old जो बच्ची है जिसका रेप हुआ था, वो क्या पहनी थी फिर?
Exactly. Or a woman in a burqa who's covered from head to toe, or a woman in a wheelchair, or a 90-year-old woman.
A dead body is getting thrown.
Yeah. So this argument कि औरत जो पहनी थी वो लेट रात को जा रही थी तो इसलिए हुआ, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला, ये सब चीज़ें मेरे लिए एड अप नहीं करते हैं. बिकॉज व्हेन वी लुक एट दीज एग्जांपल्स ऑफ वुमेन इन बर्का या बच्चे या ओल्ड पीपल, तो फिर ये मॉनिटर लिजर्ड, वो जो 4 लोगों ने मॉनिटर लिजर्ड को रेप किया, वो क्या पहना था बेचारा?
This is victim blaming, and that's what I was saying. Parenting, yeah, society, this is what there is. They will not question the guy, the accused. They will not talk about it. उसमें भी gender role ही है, because somehow, लड़के बच जाएंगे, घर है, उसी को चलाना, he is the chirag and whatever not, वही है, वही चलाएगा, वही करेगा, तो लड़की की गलती तो आनी ही आनी. This is how we are, this is how we are designed. This is how we think. ये यहाँ की error है. मतलब इसको पता नहीं कितना टाइम लगेगा सही होने में, but I see it that way. So that victim blaming will always come on the women, no matter what the topic is.
Yeah. So guys, what do you think should be the punishment for rape in India?
Chemical castration. Not death penalty, because death penalty is a quick and easy thing. Of course, in India, you wait for years till you get it. But somewhere death penalty, they feel like they'll get away with it. Chemical castration, you have to live with that shit. So, Italy has started doing it for pedophiles.
Chemical castration क्या होता है?
You chemically castrate the...
You just cut it off?
Yeah.
Wow.
Live with it.
The victim should be allowed to do it. given the option.
Yeah, if they want to, I guess.
What do you think?
I feel so. There are countries who have. I mean, I would say how it should be, treated, maybe from the legal angle. Like Spain has a different, altogether code for gender violence, and specifically for rape. So I feel there should be a separate court, who's taking care of the cases, or the violence against women or gender-based violence. There should be, because there are, so 4 lakh cases every year India reports against, gender based women violence or women harassment or all these sort of issues. So it's not, 10 or 15 cases ki chalo theek hai yaar, normal court mein hi ho jayega. If the number is so high and it is so prominent in our society, we should have a separate system for it. And then also the judges, the court, the lawyer should be trained for it, because they also come from a biased and from a patriarchal or that sort of mindset. Like we have seen in the Trisha case, her mother-in-law was a lawyer, but
Judge.
judge, but
Husband was a lawyer.
husband was a criminal lawyer. So, and we have seen, so that means even you are a lawyer, maybe you don't have the the capability for some particular cases because you are biased and patriarchy is deep rooted in you. So there should be examination or whatever, the selection on the basis of that. And I think that could be a very good resolution for it.
What do you think, Adi?
I agree with that, castration, but not from a revenge point of view. क्योंकि punishment का मेरे हिसाब से, मेरे opinion में, punishment is to protect the society from that person committing further crimes. ठीक है, और इससे अच्छा तरीका क्या होगा कि आप उसको capable ही ना छोड़ो कि वो वापस कर सके वो. अगर वो अपने माइंड को कंट्रोल करने की कोई कोशिश नहीं कर रहा तो फिजिकली उसको इनकेपेबल कर दो वो करने के लिए, कि वो कर ना पाए उसे.
When I've suggested this on my Instagram, as I was talking to you before about men being triggered, a lot of men have commented and said, but what about women that rape men? What should be done to them?
मैं बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा हो जाऊंगी आप बोल
Please, yeah. I want to see that angle.
I think women who rape men should absolutely be punished equally. The punishment in the legal system, which is there for men. However, the conversation of women raping men is one of 5,000th a chance of a man raping a woman. So it is not an epidemic that we're talking about. Of course, it should be punishable. A woman killing a man should be equally punishable as a man killing a woman. But why is the conversation always coming back to, but what about, but fucking what were you doing when men were getting raped? Did you protest for them? Did you take candle marches for them? तुमने लाठियां खाई हैं उनके लिए, हमने खाई हैं. So you only want to talk about men being harassed or raped when women are talking about their perils because you want to distract the conversation from that. You don't actually give a fuck about men being raped. Because men are being raped by way more men than they are being raped by women in India.
The crime against men also, who's doing that crime? Women are doing. I'm not saying कि लड़कियां नहीं कर रही हैं. But अगर आप again ratio निकालोगे तो आदमी की जाके मार रहा है ना, उसको जाके चोरी कर रहा है रात में. आदमी से ही नहीं सेफ है ना, वो भी डर रहा है कि मैं जाऊंगा तो मुझे कोई उठा लेगा, मेरा कोई जेब काट लेगा या whatever, चोरी कर लेगा या मेरा मोबाइल छीन के भाग जाएगा. Women are not doing this. आदमी खुद आदमी से डर रहा है लेकिन उसको एडमिट नहीं करेगा.
Very close friends of mine in the modeling industry, men, strong 6 feet 2, 6 feet 3 men who go to the gym, can lift 180, 190 kgs, were molested in their modeling careers by powerful men. It is, at the end of it, it is other powerful men only. It is a tool of assertion and dominance and power.
Would you say that when we look at things very holistically and objectively over the course of humankind, wouldn't we say men are really the problem overall?
Patriarchy is the problem.
Yes, and that seems to be an overarching problem from, I was watching this video about the medieval times, a tool that was used to control women. So if like a wife or someone was too outspoken or misbehaved, they would put this like thing on her face and she would have to wear it for weeks at a time. And if she would try and open her mouth, it would cut her tongue. So, and this was a form of punishment for her. And there were other tools, like they had these like things to like cut off women's breasts as another form of punishment, And so it's like we've been like this, as we were discussing. We've been like this for a long time. It's just the variables have changed, but that power play is very much there.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested in what is the solution. Like, we know what the problem is. We know that it's always kind of, we've had these issues in regards to a power play, the weak always being at the beck and call of whoever is the more powerful, whether it's humans to animals, men to women, whites to black, in any context, it's always kind of been like that. How do we move India towards equality?
I think what she said, patriarchy is the problem. Because, see, we have to understand what patriarchy is, what feminism is. And the thing is that people don't know about it. I would say लड़के समझते ही नहीं है feminism क्या है, इसीलिए वो उसके against रहते हैं. And so I'll try to put it in words. Patriarchy is a system. It's not men or women. It's a system that gives undue advantage to men. That, they put men on that pedestal that men are right. Men are more capable of taking decisions. If there is an opportunity, it should be given to men because they are men and they are capable of having, all those attributes that are required. It's an undue advantage that is given to one gender. So that, and again, a woman can be, can have a very patriarchal mindset, and a man could also, so it's not about the gender, it's about a system, it's about a, thought process that is there. And I think every problem, I think, come down to.
और patriarchy एक ऐसी चीज है which permeates into everything. Patriarchy permeates into religion, which is why religion has changed a lot. If you see what religion was many years or centuries ago, religion started as nature worship. Ideally, religion, what we consider, which we in the Indus belt were seeing of religion, it was worship of nature. Then it became worship of entities which were associated with nature, because there were a lot of wars. So the war goddess Kali was worshipped because she had this feral form, she had this divine form, she was worshipped. Then because people became settlers, they wanted Kali to become a little more subjugated. And patriarchy started coming in because land started getting allocated to farmers. And farmers were largely men. Uske pehle society matriarchal thi. Because women were considered superior to men because they were producing life. So women were considered more powerful. They could have multiple partners. They could be with whoever they want because they were creating life. जब land allocation start हुआ, तो जो आदमी थे, जो farmers थे, they thought कि यार जो मेरी land है वो तो मेरे बच्चे को ही pass on होनी चाहिए ना. If my woman is with 5 other people, how will I know this is my actual heir? There the concept of marriage came in. There the concept of virginity came in. So all of these are constructs of patriarchy. If you see outside the capitalist world that we are part of, the corporate world that we are part of, it is inherently patriarchal. The working hours are patriarchal.
Even the infrastructure.
Everything is designed according to men. The sleep cycles, the sleep studies, the studies about like doctors have made studies of gynecology by the systems of men. Male doctors have made childbirth, like why do women give birth lying down? Because men were too lazy to, bother themselves over like making women stand in different positions, ease her into the labor. They were like, isko letao. Chainsaw was invented for cesarean birth. All of these are tools of patriarchy. So patriarchy is not just men dominating over women, it is men dominating over every single aspect of the world where women are concerned.
And it got worse when women also start buying that thought that, oh yes, men should do this. Men are right. If a man is saying this, to yehi sahi hai. And it got worse from there.
Because when you do hear something long enough, you do tend to believe it as well, right? I was watching this documentary on female mutilation, and the mothers of the girls. So one of the girls had to go to get her mutilation done.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, this is in reference to the clitoris being cut off with some kind of knife, so that then the girl can be sewn up, so that when she's then married, it's definitely confirmed that she's a virgin or whatever, and it's can't even begin
and this
to
is largely
imagine.
done in a lot of parts of Africa, like different parts
Largely,
of Africa.
yeah.
Yeah, but now in India as well.
It's in India as well, in a very specific community, and I'm not going to say because I'm going to be called Islamophobic. Anyway, so in this documentary, the girl was there about to get it done, and the mother being interviewed was saying how proud she is, and this is such an important step into her womanhood and blah blah blah. And then she was holding her daughter down while they were cutting off her clitoris, and the girl is like screaming. And the mum honestly, but these people honestly believe that this is correct, this is what should be happening, because they have heard this long enough, this narrative long enough. And I find it so bewildering. It's like you can look at any pocket of society where anything has been taught long enough, it doesn't matter how messed up it is, people will really believe it.
Yeah, and it's also demand, right? Because the groom is demanding that my wife be
Yes.
circumcised. Circumcised, so that then only I will marry her, otherwise she's unclean. In India, the equivalent of that is, I want the woman to not be educated. I want the woman to not be a lawyer, because otherwise she'll put me in jail. Otherwise she'll give my family trouble. So the parents of the girl are not educating her, because they're like, फिर तुझसे शादी कौन करेगा?
Yeah.
So yes, you want to say something on this?
What was the question again?
We are talking.
What was the question? I don't know what.
इतने सारे topics पे. Okay. Patriarchy. What about that?
You have to tell us.
No, we were talking about how patriarchy is a system.
Yeah. And
I think it's people. लोग अपने से जिन लोगों ने क्रिएट किया है चीज़ों को, वो ऑफ कोर्स अपने आप को वहाँ पे सुपीरियर दिखाएंगे. इट्स सिंपल थिंग कि अगर जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल एक जगह है जहाँ पे काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें एक पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी ने की है, तो उस जगह को उन्हीं लोगों के अराउंड डिज़ाइन किया जाएगा कि उससे ज़्यादा बेनिफिट वो ले सकें. ठीक है, वो क्यों ही इक्वालिटी पे ध्यान देंगे कि सबको इक्वल बेनिफिट मिले या किसी भी चीज़ पे. आई थिंक दैट्स द थिंग. लोग सिर्फ अपना सोच रहे हैं और दूसरों का नहीं सोच रहे हैं. इट्स वेरी सिंपल सेल्फिश टेंडेंसीज. हमें उतना उसको कॉम्प्लिकेट करने की आवश्यकता है नहीं. हम जस्ट क्योंकि फॉर एग्जांपल मैं कुछ डोंट टेक मी रॉन्ग, बट क्योंकि इतनी सारी चीज़ें जो यहाँ पे हैं ऑलमोस्ट सब एक पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी, जैसे एक जेंडर लोगों ने बनाया, इंसान लड़कों ने बनाया, मेल ने बनाया, तो उन्होंने अपने अराउंड डिज़ाइन किया उसको. जैसे ये लाइट्स, ये जो भी है, इसके कारण उन्होंने सोचा नहीं दूसरों के बारे में. तो ना सोचना हमारा किसी के बारे में, दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम. अगर हम अपनी ईगो से ही इतने अटैच्ड हैं कि हम अपने अलावा किसी के बारे में नहीं सोच रहे हैं, तो प्रॉब्लम कॉज होगा इस दुनिया में. कोई भी कम्युनिटी जो ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग बन जाती है, इट्स नॉट अबाउट मेल फीमेल, मुस्लिम्स, हिंदू, अगर वो ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग होगी और अगर उसने वो पर्टिकुलर जगह बनाया है, तो वो अपना ही सोचेगी और दूसरे को ऑप्रेस करेगी.
I think it's more complicated than that, because उन्होंने बनाया in the sense कि क्या आपको पता है कितने आविष्कार जो हैं जो औरतों ने करे हैं, whose credit has been given to men. their husbands. There are a lot of writers, female writers, who had to write under male pen names because people would not consume their stuff. There are a lot of inventions which were made by women whose patents were stolen by the men. So we don't even know the kind of inventions women have made whose credit was not given to them. So it's not like only men have contributed, therefore they are the ones who are trying to safeguard what is there. It's the fact that women have been stopped systematically from contributing and their credit has been taken. So the root of all this is patriarchy. It's not that because of patriarchy it's not happening.
एंड इट्स नॉट दैट कि अगर मैन ने डिज़ाइन किया है तो वो औरतों को भूल गए हैं. दे हैव मेड श्योर कि वो औरत को ओप्रेस करें, वो उसको इतना नीचे कर दें कि वो उठ भी नहीं पाई थी उस चीज़ से. मतलब उसको इतना दबा दिया, उसको ख़त्म, जैसे होता है ना कि आपको ख़त्म कर दो यार, तुम्हारे अंदर अब कुछ बचना ही नहीं चाहिए कि तुम कुछ करने के लायक रहो, उसको इस कदर ख़त्म कर दो. सो इट वॉजंट लाइक कि बस वी फॉरगॉट that female exist. They made sure that female don't bounce back, they don't come back to question whatever they were doing.
But so we were talking before in the break how I didn't want to bring up my parents, but I think it's important that I do in the context of this conversation.
You got this.
So this is another thought I just had about my mom, a conversation she had with me. So she called me up and she said that from a spiritual perspective, it's wrong of me to ever wear revealing clothes. And I will, she said to me, बिलना तुम्हें research करना चाहिए इस पे because तुम कोई भी spirituality या कुछ भी कर नहीं सकती हो, and it will have negative karma on you if you wear anything revealing, and so you should always wear kurta. And I was like, okay, but would my karma not be impacted by how I think and how I act and who I am as a person versus what I'm wearing? Like, why does anyone care about what I'm wearing? And I really want Adi's perspective on this from a spiritual perspective, especially in India, because we all hear this all the time about औरत ने क्या पहना था, उसको ये पहनना चाहिए, औरत को कवर करना चाहिए, अगर कवर नहीं करेगी तो ये होगा, हमारी इज्जत जाएगी, blah blah blah. What are your thoughts on this from a spiritual perspective?
Actually, I'm very vocal about it. कि हमारे प्राचीन मूर्तियों में क्लियरली स्पष्ट दिखता है कि किस तरह का ड्रेसिंग सेंस था. इज्जत कभी भी इंसान के शरीर या वो उसने क्या वस्त्र पहना है इससे डिसाइड नहीं होता था, नेवर. और ये वन ऑफ द मेन प्रॉब्लम है जो मैंने अभी शुरुआत में भी कहा कि हमने इज्जत को बहुत ही सुपरफिशियल चीज़ों से जोड़ के रख दिया है समाज में. एंड आई डोंट थिंक कि किसी भी तरह से सेंस बनाता है कि आपने इज्जत को. लेकिन अगर आप प्राइमल चीज़ों को देखो कि किस तरह से दुनिया चली आ रही थी, दैन इट वुड मेक सेंस. क्योंकि पहले वॉर्स होते थे और इंसान का जो प्राइमल गोल था, इवोल्यूशनरी गोल, वो था बच्चे पैदा करना. तो जो जितना बच्चे पैदा कर सकता था, दे वर सीन एज द मोस्ट सुप्रीम. तो इसीलिए अगर आप किसी के साथ बच्चे कर रहे हो, उसे इम्प्रेग्नेट कर रहे हो, तो डैट वाज सीन कि आपका इज्जत बढ़ गया उससे, क्योंकि आपके बच्चे बहुत सारे हैं. हर एक रिलीजन में, हर एक कल्चर में इन द पास्ट ज़्यादा बच्चे होना बहुत सुप्रीम माना जाता था कि आपका जो जीन्स है वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों में है. इवन जो फ्लावर्स होते हैं वो जो अपने पॉलन ग्रेन्स हर जगह फैला रहे हैं, तो इट्स ए इवोल्यूशनरी थिंग. सेकेंडली, स्पिरिचुअलिटी वॉज नेवर अबाउट क्लोथ्स. कभी नहीं था, कभी नहीं था, क्योंकि आप जो जितने भी सेंट्स हैं कई सारे तो नंगे ही रहते हैं, दिगंबर.
Just sorry to cut you, but I have a question specifically on this. जब हम मंदिर जाते हैं, why is it that a woman has to cover her head and men do not have to cover their
Men
head?
also has to cover the head. गुरुद्वारा में ये बहुत अच्छे से दिखता है ये चीज़, ये लड़कों को भी कवर करना होता है. मैं आपको बताता हूँ जो सिस्टम है शास्त्रों में, उसके अकॉर्डिंग हेड कवर करना वॉज अ कम्प्लीट डिफरेंट थिंग. उसका रीज़न था इट इज़ अ स्पिरिचुअल प्रोसेस। मैं थोड़ा बहुत glimpse बताता हूँ आपको कि यहाँ पे ब्रह्मरंध्र है और इससे कुछ प्रैक्टिसेस में प्राण बाहर निकलता है, तो उसको कवर करके बांध के रखना होता है। तो लड़के या तो उसको बांधते थे या तो एक बड़ा सा बन होता था उनका, लड़कियां भी वही करती थी। बट देन इट बिकेम जेंडर स्पेसिफिक एंड आई डोंट नो व्हाई, कि क्यों हो गया ये जेंडर स्पेसिफिक। रही बात कवरिंग की, कोई भी ऐसा शास्त्र नहीं है। इवन जो यहाँ पे मुझे हिट मिल सकता है क्योंकि मैं इसके बारे में बात करता हूँ, आध्यात्म के बारे में बात करता हूँ, बट महाभारत और रामायण का भी अगर आप क्रिटिकल एडिशंस पढ़ें तो उसमें भी बहुत स्पष्ट है कि जो सीता माँ कपड़ा पहनती थी, वस्त्र पहनती थी, वो भी काफ़ी रिवीलिंग ही होते थे। और मंदिरों में मूर्तियों में भी जो सीता या दुर्गा का चित्रण है वो भी काफ़ी रिवीलिंग था। देन अगेन मैंने इसके ऊपर एक बात किया था एक बार, एंड सम पीपल जो ऑर्थोडॉक्स रिलीजियस लोग हैं वो काफ़ी ऑफेंड हो गए। तो वो बहुत अजीब अजीब तर्क दे रहे थे कि जो मंदिरों में रिवीलिंग वस्त्र हैं, नग्न चित्र हैं, वो उनके ऊपर कपड़े पहनाते हैं, वो इसलिए उसको ऐसा बनाया गया।
Oh my God. Okay.
बट देन अगेन उसमें ज्वेलरीज भी हैं, ज्वेलरीज भी तो स्पिरिचुअलिटी वॉज नेवर अबाउट ऑल दिस थिंग्स, इट इज़ अबाउट कंट्रोलिंग योर ओन एनिमलिस्टिक टेंडेंसीज। ठीक है, कैसे होगा कंट्रोल अगर आप उसको ढक रहे हो, प्रॉब्लम को ही कवर कर रहे हो, तो आप अपने आप को कैसे डील करोगे उससे?
Yeah, it feels like, from what I've observed, that largely everything seems very much for show. And I think that's kind of a reflection of our society where egoistic and in this space of, like, for example, agar log, I'm talking very generally here, मंदिर अगर जा रहे हैं, going on the weekend, अपना सब किया, but then जो actual values हैं that should be practiced, that is not a part of your persona, that is not part of your psyche or everyday sense of being. I would rather nobody goes to any mandir, but you're a good person. This thing is like, I just feel it's very much dikhava, it's very much ego, and I think that is largely the problem with exactly what you're talking about.
100%. Like my father is a very spiritual person and he's a very principled and value-based person. I have never seen my father visit a single temple. He only wants to visit temples to appreciate the architecture. He's a history geek. And he always brought us up with this thing that if you go to a mandir, you don't go to a mandir, that's your choice. Make sure that the values that I'm inculcating in you, you follow your life by those principles and values. Because there are people who are going to temples and committing crimes. And there are people who have never entered the temple yet lead the most virtuous and pious lives. So your temple should be here. And your bhakti should be here. Not regarding any idol. That's what my father has brought me up with.
Yeah, that's like that saying, hands that help are greater than lips that pray.
Yeah.
And I really believe that, you know. I really believe in instilling our children with values and living virtuous lives ourselves, and the rest, do whatever you want. But you're not proving anything to me by, you know, going to mandir. So what do you guys think India is going to be like in the next 20 years?
If these protests are taken seriously,
We'll see a better India.
yeah, I think India has a lot of hope because in the last 20, 30
You
years...
do? You think there's hope?
Yeah, honestly, before this I didn't. But these last 30 years have enlightened me in many ways because I feel like this generation is so powerful, not only because they have the guts to show up for a cause that they care about, but also because they're technologically savvy. You know, the government cannot, or a certain political parties cannot just, like, you know, waver their thought process by a few AI edited videos or, you know, few
Did you
comments.
see on NDTV that this bashing, obviously fake video, but my mom saw it and she thought it's real. She's like, Billa, did you see? You know, I'm like, dude, it's fake.
Yeah, so I feel like this generation is so smart. You just cannot get around them.
Everything which was trauma at one point is now trend.
Yeah.
So I think they own this thing so well.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
the curls were the bad hair at one point. Today, these are like the best hair to have because they have made it trend. The acceptability is so high, the awareness is so good because also I think social media plays a lot big role in this because when I was 18 16 then social media was not there. So हम ना बॉलीवुड से millennials will relate. हमारे लिए ना जो एक persona था कि अच्छा सोसाइटी है, मतलब देयर आर पीपल लाइक दिस ऑल्सो, वो बॉलीवुड होता था. और बॉलीवुड में ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन का मतलब होता था लड़की चश्मा पहन के सूट पहन के होती थी लाइक इन द आयशा मूवी, एंड देन जब उसका
और
ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन
कुछ कुछ होता है.
या
Yeah.
तो सडनली शील बी इन स्कर्ट और उसका चश्मा हट जाएगा, वो बूंदी चोटी से बाल खुले में हो जाएगी.
Yeah.
तो ये हमें फीड किया गया था कि दिस इज लाइक ये मॉडर्न नहीं है और ये मॉडर्न है.
All these very unrealistic.
Yeah, and now people, कितना पसंद करते हैं now. Gen Z love kurtis. They like Indian attire. वो उसको चटपटा outfit बना देंगे. So that's a very very drastic change, like a revolution. These people have bring.
And also the change in perception of romance. What we have grown up in seeing in Bollywood films was romance. This
Jal
generation,
लीजिए.
Jal lijiye, yeah. So this generation knows it's not. Like they know better. They ask questions. They have better resources to get examples from. So I do see a lot of hope in them. Yeah.
Now romance is not me cooking alone in the kitchen. It's if bro अगर हम दोनों साथ में cook कर सकते हैं तो वही romance है ना. So yeah.
On romance, I think, just a quick sidetrack, I think there should be a survey sent to potential people to date. Like
Do you know where the clitoris is? Question number 1.
but yeah, I mean, I would want, because I don't want to waste my time, and I've dated so many clowns. I'm like, moving forward, I literally need a survey that just weeds out the trash, and just allows me to really clean it up. So I think that's a great $1 million business idea right there.
I'll try that.
But no, but in all seriousness, so India in 20 years, you think there's hope because of the young people of India?
Yeah, I mean, if you go 20 years back का मतलब है जो लोग अभी 45, 50 मान लो हो रहे हैं. So if you compare their thought process and the people, who are in their 20s, इतना conflict क्यों है? Because thought process ही नहीं match हो रहा है.
Yeah.
So obviously जब हम ये 20 साल वाले 40 के होंगे, things would be drastically changed. वो mother-in-laws वाला जो एक है ना perception. Now when this generation will become mother-in-law or the older one, they will be chill और वो उस तरीके के expectations नहीं.
First of all, तो जितने dink couples हैं, मुझे लगता ही नहीं mother-in-laws होने वाली है existence में. Like double income, no kids.
Oh, that
There are so many
I was
people.
just going to ask you what is dink.
Dink is double income, no kids, or single income, no kids. So I feel a lot of people are just deciding not to have
But
kids.
many people, like most of my friends, are not having children. I don't plan on having children. I wish to adopt instead. I think the world is so messed up, so I'd rather help someone who's already there. But it's going to be very interesting, I think, over the next 20 years in India. I mean, there's multiple factors though. Like, we're not just talking about a corrupt government. We're talking about like air issues and livability problems, environmental issues, AI concerns of us becoming extremely dumb and reliant on, I mean, Sam Altman recently said in an OpenAI interview that they want to make intelligence a subscription. That's the plan of AI. And it's kind of true because that's sort of the direction you can see things are going. Like the most popular things people are putting into AI are the dumbest questions that don't even make sense. Like such basic things that you should just know. Yeah. So I'm very curious how it's going to shape. I think it's more for me, it's a concern about our ability to relate to other people in terms of AI. Like, if you get it to do menial tasks, I think it's fine. Like, ye table bana do, yeah, something you would get maybe someone to help you out with. But when the moment you engage AI to like deal with a personal problem, like to have a conversation with someone for you about a relationship issue, for example, I think that's where you're then with time losing your ability to discern information, to have a conversation with someone. And that to me is a problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel less optimistic. Maybe I think I'm a pessimist. I don't know what the next 20 years will be like. I feel like we as a species are overall pretty messed up, and I don't know. I really want to be optimistic, and I'm just going to jump on the back of the optimistic people and hide behind them and really like cheer for them that they are optimistic, because I'm not sure. But also maybe that's because I'm exposed to a lot of negative things all the time globally, and I'm consuming a lot of that stuff. So I think that also that feeds into my pessimism. And yeah, I do hope it will be livable and better in the next 20 years. Adi, what do you think? What do you think India will be like in 20 years?
आई थिंक जैसे आज का जनरेशन बहुत ज़्यादा फ्रीडम को चेज़ कर रहा है, और पिछले कई जनरेशन में हमने देखा कि बेसिक नेसेसिटीज़ ही फुलफ़िल नहीं हो पा रही थी. तो आज मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में बात हो रहा है, डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी, एवरीथिंग. पहले के सिचुएशन में, पहले के ज़माने में जैसे कि हम लोग तो डिप्रेशन के बारे में जानते भी नहीं थे, एंजाइटी के बारे में जानते भी नहीं थे, बट आप लोग बेसिक नीड्स से ही ऊपर नहीं उठ पाए थे. तो फिर आप कैसे इन सब मामलों के बारे में डिस्कस करोगे? खाना ही नहीं था, रहना ही नहीं था ठीक से, सेफ्टी ही नहीं थी, फिज़िकल सेफ्टी ही नहीं थी. तो उससे ऊपर मैस्लोव्स हायरार्की ऑफ नीड्स, उसमें मेंटल हेल्थ या सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन बहुत ऊपर की चीज़ है. जब बेसिक नेसेसिटीज़ ही फुलफ़िल नहीं है, तो फिर आज जो जनरेशन है वो इन सारे बेसिक नेसेसिटीज़ को अच्छे से जी के आया है. सो दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट फ्रीडम, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, मेंटल हेल्थ. और मुझे लगता है इट विल ओनली गेट बेटर, क्योंकि हमारा जो मिनाइल छोटा मोटा टास्क्स हैं जो हमारे सर्वाइवल को इंश्योर करें, वो सब पूरा हो ही जाएगा आने वाले समय में. इट विल नॉट बी अ बिग डील. हमारा इंटेलेक्ट और हम अपने आप को कैसे एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं, वो इट विल बी द लार्ज थिंग, वो ही मैटर होगा. आज जेंजीज को समझ रहे हैं, और आने वाले समय में इट विल लीड टू सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन, मैस्लोव्स हायरार्की ऑफ लॉ का सबसे ऊपर. तो मुझे लगता है कि इंडिया और पूरी दुनिया बेटर ही होगी until there is a nuclear war.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm getting at, is that I kind of feel that from an environmental perspective, there'll either be a major downfall because we have completely messed it up, or some kind of major.
So what do you think is कि अगर environmental जैसा आपने कहा, it happens because of wars. Even जो ये प्लास्टिक्स हैं वो भी मास प्रोड्यूस इसलिए हुई थी क्योंकि वर्ल्ड वॉर का समय था. द थिंग वॉज क्योंकि जो लोहा है, स्टील है, वो काफ़ी प्रोड्यूस करने में बहुत ज़्यादा एफर्ट लगता है उसको, और काफ़ी भारी है वो. और जो ग्लास है वो बहुत फ्रेजाइल है, तो प्लास्टिक उसके सब्स्टिट्यूट में आया वॉर के समय. और फिर वॉर के बाद वो ग्लोबलाइज हो गया. तो वॉर्स के कारण ही मेजॉरिटी ऑफ इन्वायरमेंटल डैमेज होते हैं. ठीक है, आज भी और आगे भी होंगे. तो अगर हम वॉर से सेफ रहें, अगर पीस और फ्रीडम की बात हो, तो हम लोग बहुत अच्छी जगह जा रहे हैं इन फ्यूचर. एंड आई एम वेरी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक एंड होपफुल अबाउट इट कि हम बहुत अच्छे समय में जा रहे हैं. बट अगर वॉर होता है, अगर हम अपने माइंड को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, पॉलिटिक्स हो रहा है जिसके कारण युद्ध लड़े जा रहे हैं, तो फिर इन्वायरमेंटली, फिजिकली, और फिर लोगों का बेसिक नीड भी पूरा नहीं हो पाएगा ना.
I think it's also greed, don't you agree? Because I feel like we're consuming more than we require.
Yeah.
अगर मेरी वार्डरोब में 5 कपड़ों की ज़रूरत है मुझे जेन्युइनली, तो मेरे पास 50 हैं. मुझे अगर एक चीज़ से सेटिस्फैक्शन मिल सकती है, मेरे पास देयर सो मच चॉइस, देयर सो मच मास प्रोडक्शन.
लेकिन आई वुड से कि वॉर्स भी ग्रीड के कारण ही हो रहे हैं. तो वो माइंड कंट्रोल नहीं है ना हमारा. जो वॉर्स हो रहे हैं एक्सपैंड करना है हमें. तो एक ह्यूमर था, एक सार्कास्म था कि एडोल्फ हिटलर इज सेइंग कि हमें पीस चाहिए, वी वांट अ पीस, a small piece of Poland. तो
That's what Trump has done with Venezuela, no?
Yeah.
He
तो
just
हमारा-
wants that.
राइट, तो इट्स
That's the
ग्रीड.
greed.
हमें और चाहिए, और ज़मीन चाहिए, और रिसोर्सेज चाहिए, और चाहिए, और चाहिए. चाइना इज एक्सपैंडिंग। तो ग्रीड इसलिए हो रहा है क्योंकि वी आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड फ्रॉम विद इन एंड वी आर फाइंडिंग दैट सेटिस्फैक्शन और कंप्लीटनेस समवेयर एल्स, और उसके कारण हम हर जगह और चाहिए के पीछे लगे हुए हैं। तो अगर ये नहीं सिखाया जाए कि सेटिस्फैक्शन इज टू बी फाइंड विद इन, सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन इज टू बी फाइंड विद इन, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि बहुत अच्छा होपफुल फ्यूचर होगा। बट जिस तरह से जेनजीज जा रही है आगे, दे आर कंप्लीटिंग ऑल द बेसिक नेसेसिटीज़ एंड एवरीथिंग, मुझे लगता है कि इसी कंक्लूजन पे वो फाइनली पहुंचेंगे कि इट इज़ टू बी फाइंड विद इन, बाहर नहीं है।
I sure hope so. And I think that the moment we start removing ego from, like, acting from ego, the moment we change that perspective, our thinking changes also. And I had a really interesting conversation with a friend of mine, and she was with me. We were at some restaurant, and she was eating her lunch or whatever. And as you guys all know, I'm a vegan. I've been vegan over 20 years, not out of health or whatever. It's just out of basic ethics. And anyway, but I'm not one of those preachy vegans. I just like to kind of, it's just a part of me. It's not all of who I am. But you'll meet many vegans who are like, hi, I'm vegan, you know. Anyway, so we were sitting having lunch, and she was sitting there telling me all about, you know, oh, it's terrible what's happening with the dogs, and we should be so kind to animals, and I just can't stand animal cruelty, and it's so wrong. And meanwhile, she's eating a chicken at the same time. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, Amy, don't say anything, don't say. But I couldn't help myself. I was like, look, I love the sentiments, because we should think about being a good person means thinking of not just ourselves and our immediate family. It's about thinking about the community and other beings collectively for the betterment of everyone and our community and the world, right? And that includes the animal kingdom. So if we're not acting out of necessity, then we're acting out of greed. And so as such, right now, you have the option of choosing a non-meat option, but you deliberately chose the meat option, which then to me suggests that's acting out of greed, taste, convenience, whatever you want to call it. And she's like, oh no, but it's different. I'm like, but how is it that's what I genuinely want to understand. How is it different? Because if you can convince me it's different, I would love that, because I would love that genuine to be challenged, my thinking to be challenged. And so that's just an example of where I see human greed being quite interwoven into the fabric of our society to justify so many things. Even like our clothing, as you said, like we overconsume. Like we'll go and talk about, you know, children's rights, women's rights, and then go and buy from H&M, where some poor child or some poor woman has been underpaid and been in terrible circumstances out of desperation, but we don't want to think about it, right? Because it's convenient to go to H&M and what do they have or whatever. But thankfully in India, I think there is a growing trend of thrift stores, which makes me so happy, because it is such a sustainable solution to fashion. Have 50 things in your wardrobe, but like we can get them more sustainably, and that's so cool. But I think, so what I'm seeing is, I think the moment we start being open-minded and not take things personally, it's okay if we are presented with other viewpoints. The moment ego is out of the picture, we're open to receive other thoughts. And that's how I think we grow and evolve as a species. And that's where I think that the newer generation is more open to that. Because now, like even when we talk to our parents' generation, aap kuch bhi bolo to them. If it is different from their worldview, they will just shut it down, even if it's factual.
They
उनको
have just
सुनना ही नहीं.
yeah, they have just one answer, क्योंकि ऐसा होता आ रहा है इसलिए ऐसा करते हैं.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys could change one law in India, what would it be?
I mean, I have said it before. I think for gender-based crime, for violence against women, there should be a separate court. There should be people who understand this, you know, people who understand the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
And it should be treated in that way, with all dignity.
What about yourself?
I think it would be a very strong anti-corruption law, because I feel like corruption is at the root of all these things. Corruption is the reason why a lot of rapists are not caught because they are connected with the right people. Corruption is the reason why a lot of murderers are not caught because they're connected with the right people. Corruption is the reason why journalists are killed because they are exposing the people in power. So ultimately, it is power and corruption. So there should be a systematic breakdown and a crackdown on power and corruption, which would ultimately lead to solving these bigger problems. The most basic thing.
I just wonder if that's possible though, because if government is powered by corporate interests, vested interests of other people, then it's kind of like, how would we ever deal with that corruption? Because where the money is coming from ultimately is where the corruption is stemming from. So it's a very systematic ecosystem that seems to be feeding into itself. And
I think it will come from like this generation is really smart because they've understood that if a geo is the reason behind a lot of things, then geo per se can't be targeted. You target all those brands that geo owns. You boycott all those things. Like you kill it little by little. You know, you kill it with 1,000 cuts. So I feel like that is ultimately what will save our country is homegrown. You know, people at the root of things, people at the root of running things, like, you know, changing the entire ecosystem little by little, dismantling all these patriarchal positions of power. Yeah.
That's the difference, you know. This generation ask why, you know, why we are doing this, why do we need this, you know. The earlier generation, like she's talking about corruption and politicians, and so earlier, like our fathers and everybody, they have literally they have made these politicians god. That generation has given that power to these people. Now this generation is telling them, making them realize that you are not the god, you are the system to take care of
And
us.
you're actually a public servant.
Yeah.
You are here to serve us.
Yeah, and that's what the reminder this generation is giving to them, that you are not the God, you are the system, you are the people who we have elected, and you are there to serve us. And if you will not serve us, we will make you realize, you know, our power also.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I find it so fascinating how when you're saying how we kind of idolize these people in power, you know, when we think of like all of these Bollywood actors, so recently, the moment the Prime Minister put out the reel, then all of a sudden,
And the drama started.
all of a sudden, you know, and obviously, like Alia Bhatt's one was obviously ChatGPT. Obviously, like the way it was written. They were all very similar, and then suddenly everyone is putting, where were they beforehand?
Because you know what, first they realized कि अभी pressure बहुत है, कुछ ना कुछ तो डालना पड़ेगा. Otherwise, because people were bombarding them with, you know, comments and messages that why you're not speaking about this. Now they were under this pressure कि अभी कुछ तो बोलना पड़ेगा. And then, you know, PM posted, अभी उन्होंने इतना fabricated that message is coming. Now people, that's the good part. Now people are calling out कि अरे अभी drama मत करो. You are doing this for the sake of doing it.
I'm so glad they're being called out. It's because it is so obvious.
And forget about these, by the way, you know, Bollywood actor, चलो तुम तो तब भी थोड़ा सा ऊपर आते हो in terms of, you know, क्या कहते हैं उसे, public के उसमें. Influencers are doing this here. Influencers. You are made, everybody is made because of the audience, because of the people. Some influencers जो थोड़े से बड़े हो गए हैं, they are not talking about it, they are not posting about it. I mean, that's so sad. So it's the pressure that is making them talk about it.
Yeah, rather than it being a genuine thing.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Like, it seems like actors are very happy to jump into a movie that's about national issues, but then when it's actually needing to talk about national issues in a very real way, they don't seem to want to do that. They want to tiptoe around. And I never understood this. Like, when it comes to anything, like, why is that?
एक तो सिलेब्रिटाइजेशन ऑफ एक्टर्स हो गया है, वो प्रोफेशन नहीं रहा अब. एक्टिंग एज अ प्रोफेशन डजंट एग्जिस्ट. नाउ देर आर सेलिब्रिटीज एंड देर एक्टर्स. Actors are there who are doing it for the craft, and celebrities are the people who are public figures, and they're sitting on a lot of money. Now the money that they're making is largely because they're getting those kind of projects which are in the wave. We're in a nationalistic wave right now. Government is funding or government is supporting heavily most of these projects जो हित में बनते हैं गवर्नमेंट के. तो एक तरीके से अगर वो इस चीज़ को अपोज करने लग जाएंगे तो काफ़ी सारे काम उनको नहीं मिलेंगे, और वो काम नहीं मिलेंगे तो उनके पास उतना पैसा नहीं होगा, तो उनका सेलिब्रिटी स्टेटस कैसे मेंटेन होगा. तो उनका स्टेटस को मेंटेन करने के चक्कर में दे आर डूइंग ऑल दिस. दे हैव अ चॉइस कि ठीक है, I may not make that much money, but at least I'll be true to myself. But no, it's the celebritization and the status quo which is keeping them from rebelling.
It's actually a choice, you know, that they made. Same goes with the, I mean, I'm drifting a little bit from the topic, but same goes with the, women objectification as well. Like people called out Janvi Kapoor in the latest movie, the angles and the way she has been,
Yeah, I've not seen the movie, but I saw some critics talking about it. Yeah.
So, I mean, you come from a privileged background, from a nepo, whatever you can say, but you still choose to do it.
Yeah.
You understand it, but you still choose to do it. And then you can't talk about, women objectification or women this thing, because you are the one who is feeding it.
Yeah.
So same goes with that also. I mean, they want that. That's it. They also want that celebrity sort of tag and that, that aura and that everything.
And it's a sad thing. Everybody knows how actors who have stood up against this have been routinely intimidated and put down by the government. Their projects have been shelved.
Wow.
Their houses have been raided. Their offices have been raided. So there's a lot of intimidation that also happens from the side of the government.
It's bizarre to me that there's been no formal apology, even with the public pressure on everything. I saw interviews of parents whose children had died and committed suicide, and it's such an awful thing to have occurred. But the fact that there's no coming organically from the government to really give a moment of silence to really, apologize for the situation.
Actually, इस generation से पहले किसी ने accountability मांगी नहीं है government से.
Yeah.
This generation is the first one that is asking why.
Yeah.
And the older generation is supporting now. They are you ask 10 uncles today, what do you feel about the situation that is going on? They'll be like, बच्चे पागल हो गए हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं ये? Because वो तो उनके लिए तो गलत ही हो रहा है. वो उस माइंडसेट से आते ही नहीं है जहाँ पे क्वेश्चन पूछना ही होता है, जहाँ पे इस तरीके से चीज़ों को करना ही होता है. नो मैटर वो सही कर रहे हैं यार. बताओ, इट्स सच अ पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट. पीपल आर गोइंग देयर, दे आर हैविंग टाइम और अपनी बात भी रख रहे हैं. क्यों ना रखें वो बात? Their parents are not talking about it. They are talking about it. In fact, universities have asked their students to not talk about the issue. We are asking our parents. You see, ये education का मुद्दा है. University, JNU, Delhi University, everybody has given this notice and asked their student to not go on in the protest.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why, because I've been sharing, various things on my Insta, and I've been getting DMs of people calling me anti-national. Why are people calling me anti-national?
I'm anti-national also. I'm a Pakistani agent and a Chinese agent together. I'm being also funded by Pakistan and China. पाकिस्तान जिनकी खुद की GDP गड्ढे में है, वो मुझे फंड कर रहे हैं.
Exactly.
भाई बहुत, it's bizarre.
That's so interesting. Because I got a lot of DMs ki I'm being paid to share these reels that I'm sharing. I'm like, who is paying me? If anything,
I hate this government for free. I wish someone paid me for it.
I got a message that तुझे feminism के लिए follow किया था _beat. अभी ये क्या पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में स्टार्ट हो गई?
That's what I got कि तुम्हें मैंने veganism के लिए follow किया, अब ये क्या शुरू हो गया, blah blah. I'm like, I'm not allowed to have an opinion about anything else other than one topic.
The expectation to not have an opinion about things, that's the expectation.
Yeah.
Well, I do feel that with people like everyone sitting here, the country can only get better day by day, step by step, as you said. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. It's been a great conversation. I feel like we could just keep talking, but we do need to wrap things up now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Vagmita, Sonali. It's been such a great conversation.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.